Welcome back. You're still watching The Break, and want us to resume the conversation we're having. But before we do so, there's an interesting editorial cartoon on the Daily Nation. They're talking about urgent renovations. This is page 17 of the Daily Nation. Urgent renovations, that looks like it's at State House, and then outside you're looking at an ambulance whose door looks open, shower bed is broken, and help is on the floor. Higher Education Loans Board. That's an editorial cartoon on the Daily Nation. On the Standard, you have another interesting one. Page 12 of the Standard, there's someone holding a yellow bag with what looks like coffee beans. They're saying, "Sinilisema pana kugusa mrima." And the title there is KK Top Secrets. And then there's an arrow saying 2027 kilometers to go. Well, yeah, you can interpret for yourself. We need to see the bottom line there on what is happening there. But anyway, so that's what the editorial cartoon is on, the Standard and the Nation. It's about an impression of what's happening in the political world today. Senator Onyonka, we were talking about this help that you find on that cartoon that is on the floor, but you had gotten to the point of talking about the cost of education and a few things that you were saying you're uncomfortable with Mheshimiwa Ruto's submissions.
Thank you. I was sitting here, and when he finished, I said I was really suffering listening to what argument he was making. Sami, if you look at the issues of the education sector in our country, and this is the point I always tell my brothers when I meet them, those in government, this is not a creation of William Ruto and his government. What William Ruto's government has done, it has actually participated in creating the confusion even more. And I will give my brother this simple example. My brother, one of the very difficult things we have been discussing about our country, including the education sector, including employment, but that's why you find it very difficult to discuss tribalism in Kenya. Learn to accept to start dealing with our tribalism honestly and sincerely. The problem with our education sector to begin with is that we stopped accepting meritocracy. And people are promoted easily jobs, whether you are looking at the lower level, whether you are cascading into the upper level. The problem is, number one, yes, tribalism has been an issue. In fact, I want to be very honest with you that I was amongst those MPs who were making those arguments. Then I did not understand that I was participating in the breaking down of this same system. I was the one saying that Kisii must actually go to Kisii campus and make sure that our son of the soil is the one who becomes the chancellor. Then, Sami, when we did that, and Kisii wasn't an exception, every university in Kenya then became a tribal den. All right? When you hear people talking about Moi, he thinks we are talking about how we are castigating the Kalenjin community. No, we all made sure that our tribesmen are the ones who are given those university jobs. Irrespective of them being professors, not every professor can be a manager of an institution. Then we politicize the appointments without looking at critically what the issues are. And then once we politicize them, then we now cascaded it down financially, where because we have all the tribesmen, one tribesman is the head of finance, one is the registrar, one is the head of accounting, and then what do? They skimmed out money out of these institutions. All our university institutions, the pending bills were not caused by tribalism. The pending bills were caused by the capitalism which our managers have become, and we are participants of the stolen assets and resources of our Kenyan people. We, as the ruling class, have refused to understand that some of the sectors, look at what is happening, leave alone education. Why are we having the president's, you have the president's authorizing for some committee which has been discussing what is happening in the health sector? Look at the comments there. They are not fighting about which tribe they belong to. They are fighting on who is stealing what. Whether it is from KEMSA, whether it is at the local level, which companies are being given. We have turned our public services into business enterprises.
Which committee are you talking about?
I'm talking about, there is a presidential presidential task force.
Yes.
Which was set up, the president, I think it's in the Standard.
The human resource.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at the fight they're having at the medical sector, where you have PSS who don't talk to each other, where you have decisions are being made where people don't know where those decisions are made. So let me go back to education. What we have done, education, and I want to tell my two colleagues, and I pray for this. Sam, look at the stories on the paper about the story you did on how money is being stolen from bursaries. Look at what is happening. We have been saying, gentlemen, we are not saying that you people don't handle bursary money. Please, let us make sure we create structures so that this money, which is supposed to help our poor people, does not get to our hands. Because that money is getting to our hands. And look at the audit reports you see. Money is being stolen. Moi University, I just had, he commented, and I keenly listened to what he said, and he meant well. The changes that took place, my brother, nobody was arrested. 6.2 billion shillings has been stolen. What country have we become? It is so normal that people took away, and then you hear stories about some of that money went to do campaigns, to give with who. University land is now being exchanged. Land, Moi Eldoret land is being taken. We know that Nairobi University, houses which have been owned by the university are now being transferred to private companies, and universities losing those houses in Kikuyu and some of them around Lavington, and some of the West where professors used to stay. I mean, there is so much that is about our country that all we are doing is to sanitize it. Oh, you know the problem. Let's not discuss the tribalism in our university. No. The cost of education. Sammy, why is it so difficult for us to print books for our public schools with a government printer? Because we, the ruling class and the ones who are in government, are the ones who have been given the responsibility of selling books, equipments and materials to these schools. And indeed, you people are discussing, yes, we have got two-tier system for the poor and the rich.
Sorry, I thought it's publishers who produce those books and...
The people who own those publishing books. Let me make my case. The people who are printing the books, other than those companies, you must deal behind those books. There's a deal.
You must lift the veil.
There is a deal which is made. That is why some of the schools receive books which
procurement laws are not able to deal with that.
Nothing. The system has been broken from up till down.
So what do we do?
So what I'm saying, listen, let me finish it for you. So you are bringing me to the private funding, and my colleagues conveniently forget that we are talking about help, and I've already said so many times, that's why I'm sounding like, gosh, I don't know where to start this argument. We are spending 636 billion shillings. I want one day my colleagues to sit and look, how much are we paying university lecturers? How many are we paying teachers? So what is left out of that? Then you see, when we discussed the issue of bursaries, which you saw they were twisting the control of budget to make sure that that money is given to them, because members of parliament, the governors, the presidency, the executive, that is the money which they reward to their friends. Some of it is never even taken to the institutions where this money has been authorized to.
Sam, you cannot allow get away with this.
Collapse all these funds. Collapse the funds which we are stealing. Take these funds to the ministry. Allow the president to select individuals who are going to say the model we are using is this, the money we are having, we have enough money in this country to provide any services, health, education or water. The difference is, it's obvious. Buddy said, we are stealing everything.
So, Sam?
Solution.
Solution. First, I must correct the impression created by CPA, MP for Keses. History is very harsh. You cannot run away from history that on 20th of September 2016, your governor then, the Honorable Jackson Mandago, Honorable Alex Tolgos of Marakwet, Honorable Oscar Sudi, Honorable Tires. This is history.
What does that?
They stormed Moi University.
Said we want our own.
Out. CPL, listen to me. They stormed 20th of September 2016. Google on your phone.
But are you aware of the outcome of
they threw out
panel?
Professor Laban Airo and insisted they must get a clansman to head Moi University. It is that incident that formed the basis of the collapse of Moi University. Today, billions have been lost, and it is a governance managerial issue. This is record. It is on record.
Just hold on.
Yes,
indeed.
We are talking national platform, Wakili. Let's stick to the facts.
Sorry,
remember, it is not politicians.
That's what I want us to do. So, Mheshimiwa Ruto, Wakili Echesa.
Yes.
Indeed, what you're saying
is true.
Those leaders went to demand that the Professor Koskei should be the Vice Chancellor there.
Yes.
But is the problem that installation, or there were systemic challenges at the Moi University, including the opening of so many campuses across the country that have ended up becoming their own independent universities, and therefore the resources are no longer available?
You're right. It starts with the leader. If we have a strong leader at the top, don't interrupt me.
Sammy.
Just a moment.
Allow me.
CPA, just a moment. You have a right of reply.
Let's respond.
Who authorizes the opening of these satellite campuses? And for what reasons? They became avenues of corruption, avenues of looting. It is authorized by the leader, who is the Vice Chancellor, together with the council. So what does the council do? Install a compliant Vice Chancellor who can be part of the systematic problems to loot. And Honorable Nyonka has said very well. Tell us how many non-Luya VCs have been at Masinde Muliro. Tell us how many non-Kikuyu VCs have been at KU post-Eshuani. Tell us how many non-Luo VCs have been in Moi. And we've taken... All these university managements are tribalized. However, at Moi University...
Maseno or Moi?
At Maseno, post-Luo VCs in Maseno.
Yeah, you said Moi.
No, sorry, in Maseno. Okay. So, number two, I come to what Mheshimiwa said. Mheshimiwa seems to be living in what to call the world of utopia. He does not understand that university education, or the right to education in this country, is constitutional.
The right to education
is constitutional, and it implies 1, accessibility, 2, affordability, 3, relevance. You should stop lecturing salaried Kenyans on why they should finance their own education. You have raided their pay slips as a government. If you only did away with housing levy today, did away with SHA, reduced NSF collections, these salaried Kenyans would be able to fund some of their lifestyles without crying. In any event, you take 48% of their pay to go to fund government services, including education. And being an MP is being an employee sui generis. You are a unique employee. Other than the salary, you have CDF contractors. Ken has just released roads. You will get kickbacks from those roads. So you have a lot of money compared to other salaried Kenyans. I would want
Wakili to come clearly. I would want to...
As an MP, he'll get kickbacks from Kenha.
I have been an MP for 2 years.
And you swear you have never got a kickback.
I challenge you to come to Nyeri. I challenge you, Wakili, to come to Nyeri. We'll give you the list of the people who have executed. I'll give you the list of the people who have executed CDF accounts. We will take you to Kera, where the regional engineer and the constituency engineer sit.
Are you aware, Sam, that MPs have imprisoned for mismanaging CDF?
Yes.
Can we deal?
They have been imprisoned.
I have not. I refer to those MPs, not you.
But you see, sometimes to generalize some issues is not fair, because we have institutions that have been endorsed by law to undertake this. We have agencies. In the roads, we have agencies, and they're working independently.
Excuse me, Sammy. That is what that's what you tell a primary school kid.
Sam,
don't use those arguments. That's what you tell a primary school kid. At Kera. See, I was an MP.
It is Sam.
Kera money is eaten. We know.
How much did you invest? No. Now that money wait, Sam.
Now that
how does that work?
We know.
Allow me.
They sell the roads to their relatives and friends for the roads to be constructed.
the contractors.
It is known.
Let us get a confession.
You tell us.
Why should I tell you? I'm just helping you because you're not brave enough to say what you people do.
Let us get a confession from you.
Public money is being
For how long was he an MP?
For
how long has he been a parliamentarian?
Talking about our corruption.
You know, guys,
An MP is telling us that they
no.
eat money. Why should we
Look at the
doubt
how
them?
much did he eat?
Let's start with him.
Why should we doubt them if they are confessing? They are saying they eat.
Yes, the money is eaten.
He is brave enough to say it.
The money is
They are not
eaten.
brave
And they are
enough to
refusing to say the money is
We are
eaten.
not in Excalibur.
We are speaking about it. Stop
We
the
should
stealing
listen
of the public
not
money.
in
the
That is how this
repentant
country will
Richard.
change.
We should listen to the repentant
This
Richard.
country will never change.
let's have order.
This country will never change. We must deal with our corruption.
It's true, and they can't
Who doesn't know that members of parliament are given money to pass
Senator Onyonka,
wrong
how
laws?
many years have
Who
he been a
doesn't know that money
parliamentarian?
is for roads in the sort of RMLF money going to county
And they are paid
government?
up
They are being given the money so that they
How
can mess
many
up
years
the
have you
country.
been a member of
all right.
parliament?
Let us hear from
Now,
and please,
serious.
let us
allow
not,
Onyonka to
we
tell
cannot
us.
speak at the same time.
Allow
Nobody is
Onyonka,
hearing you.
Sammy, allow Onyonka
I
to
am
tell us.
giving you
being
examples
a
of what
politician
I
and a
know
member of
that is
parliament,
being done.
he has been stealing.
I can
Joshua,
tell
Dr.
you, listen,
Just
I
one
said
thing.
I know
Senator.
how money is being stolen.
Senator,
And it's being stolen by
Senator.
all leadership in this
You
country.
are a crime. You are a sin
calm
of
down.
crime.
Let us.
By the way,
one
you
person
guys are
at a time.
thieves.
You are a sin of
All
crime.
of you guys are thieves, and we pretend we are not. All of us in the ruling class are thieves.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
We've been stealing public
when,
money
when
forever.
I want to say, Kenyans listening to Senator Onyonka today
Yes.
are wondering how many years he has been a member of parliament.
In fact, that
I've been
And
gathering the evidence.
he
That's why I
should.
say the system is broken.
Please wait.
Deliberately.
Please wait,
That's why
Senator.
Kenya can't
Allow
move.
him to finish.
Please wait.
It's time.
So, Senator Onyonka,
He's making
Allow
an
him
argument
to
with it.
finish.
Senator
I
Onyonka,
want
you
him
must
to
tell
deal
Kenyans.
with the issues we are talking about. Our country is
Senator,
broken
please.
because of the corruption.
You must tell Kenyans
Spoken?
how many years you've
Let him
been
respond.
a member of parliament,
Are you talking
and they have paid you a salary, and out of those years you've been a member of parliament, how much you have stolen
Can I answer?
personally.
Let me answer.
Just let me finish.
Yeah,
let me
you asked
finish.
me a question.
Let me finish.
Senator,
I have never stolen. I've been a witness on how the money
But
is stolen.
he said he was an MP.
Yes,
He was stealing.
I have been a witness to see. I can tell you.
So, and you assume, you assume
Okay.
you are the only one.
What did
You are
the
the only one who
How does
who
one MP
leaves,
get
who
1.5
leaves,
billion to do roads
No,
in his
Senator,
constituency
you are the-
and he gets 50?
and you assume you are
Those
the
are
only
things
angel
that
who has been elected
not
as an MP.
normal.
No, it's okay. I've
It's
had
not
you.
normal.
Senator Onyonka, please allow him to finish his response in silence because we had you in silence. Mheshimiwa.
So, number one, Senator Onyonka should not lie to Kenyans that he's the only angel who has been elected as a member.
What did I
parliament.
say?
And because he has the evidence of how it is stolen, why all these years has he never volunteered to the agencies that could then get Madege jailed as a member of parliament for Nyeri Town constituency for theft within Nyeri Town constituency?
Can I answer that?
Just a moment. Sam, anybody who accuses me as a member of parliament of corruption, my challenge has always been one. Please tell me the day you will go to the EACC office in Nyeri and lodge the complaint. Inform me. By the time you finish, I will be sitting outside to go inside that office and be questioned. I campaigned on a platform of honesty in leadership, Senator Onyonka. I campaigned on it. Number two, you say I don't live in this country. You also live in the space of doomsayers. You can never see any good. You can never hear any good. You can never talk any good. In terms of the law in this country, and I see it in the National Cohesion and Equal Opportunities Committee, we have looked at every parastatal in this country. Hey. The National Cohesion and Integration Act says no more than 30% of employees in a government body should be, no ethnic group should have more than 30%. However, that is since 2012. The historical circumstances we have never found a way of sorting them out. The question of balancing this out is a dilemma and a nightmare for everybody. The question of meritocracy, again, versus this requirement of the law, is also another area that we are struggling with. On NSSF and these deductions, your computation of 48% is misleading to Kenyans, because NSSF, number one, is a saving to Kenyans. You contribute your money. If you contribute 1 shilling, the government puts in 2 shillings for you. When you exit service, you take that money with you.
Sorry, who are you talking about?
There is computation about 48%.
No, you're saying the government puts some money for you?
Yes.
It's the employer for that.
The employer. Your employer. The government is also an employer.
Even private
right?
sector.
So
Even private. I mean
the employer. Don't
employer.
give credit where it is not due.
The government is also an employer in this country.
Yeah.
So that's the reality.
So
number two,
the
48% is erroneous because they put 6% and they put then 4% for pension.
Now tell us the percentage that you can take.
Just a moment. The truth is, if you are pensionable, you do not pay NSSF. And so either the figure is you are either paying 6% for NSSF or 4% to pension. That is the reality that cannot be disputed. And therefore, Sam, even as we tackle the issues, the housing levy is there. And it was voted by, in Parliament,
so
including those who voted.
If you earn 100,000 shillings,
yes,
how much is deducted from you in form of taxes and deductions?
What percentage?
It's around 30%.
It will add up at between. If you are in NSSF, it will be at 46%. If you are pensionable, it will be at 42%.
So 46 and 48 that I gave, what is the difference?
There's a whole 2% difference.
It's called the margin error.
The kind of money,
in academics,
the kind of money you are talking about at 2.75%.
What I was saying,
you see, the reality
is that you take more.
Okay, all right. I think I've had enough on that topic. In closing, Mheshimiwa Ruto, because you had a few things to respond to.
Yes. Now, first of all, I think one of the shows that I'm becoming excited about is today's show, of the few shows that have come here. And I want to appreciate my senior. I know Senator Onyonga has been a member of parliament for quite some time. He must be doing the 6th term if you accumulate all of it. And with the experience he is speaking about, being a first time, I think I'm learning a lot. I'm only taken into a shock to understand that the oversight arm of government has been participating in this level of corruption. I've been asking myself as to why Auditor General has been giving out adverse reports on our county governments. Mm-hmm. And then when the governors are summoned to appear in committees in Senate, the reports disappears. Could this, what Senator Onyonga is saying, could be a clear confirmation that the oversight on county governments has failed? Because the body that is entrusted to check on these governors, because remember, as much as we are looking at the national government allocations as per division of revenue, let's not forget under 4th schedule, clarity of mandates and functions has been spelled by the Constitution. And the law says money follows the functions, including the roads. That is alleging that National Assembly is denying to release the issue of RMLF. For this purpose, I come from a county government. As much as I'm a member of parliament, I belong to a county government. And if you analyze and compare what these agencies like, especially Kera, because most of our roads are Kera, what they are doing and what county government are doing are far too far two worlds. The question is, where is the money that this Senate are voting for counties? And when the Auditor General has come out with the report, where is it going? Does it mean governors take aside some money from the covers and give them? If that is a parliament you want to speak about.
Can I respond?
That is you will after I finish.
Yes, because I've seen how passionately Senator is pushing on these ones to the level now I want to ask him and myself, what are we going to do if we appreciate that the problem is there? Uhuru Kenyatta appreciated that Kenya we are losing 2 billion daily. I've also seen President Ruto admitting that there is a problem on our corruption.
How much is it now?
I don't know, I can't, but I've had him.
You remember Uhuru's, but you don't remember Ruto's.
Yes,
sorry.
I've confirmed that. Even Ruto himself has also admitted and confirmed to it. Yeah. Then, so, who, other than these particular people who are here, other than speaking about it and, praising the whole thing, what are we going to do? Some, even before we leave out of this place, what will my brother Hai and Dan, we are going to do so that we save Kenyans the hemorrhage that they are suffering? Look at the education is suffering, but there are money that can be spent here. I mean, the question is this, and I want to say, I've looked at the act of NGCDF for quite some time. At start, the CDF Act, where they did put themselves, was giving a role power to member of parliament. This has been subjected to several litigations. Up to now, we've seen the decision between the two agents. But if there is a way member of parliament is participating in influencing, and the report is there, me as a member of parliament, I'm ready to take action. I'm ready to...
So how much influence do you have in your city?
To me, like, for example, the only thing we do, I go to public participation with the committees. Because these are my electorate. I sit and do the proposals with the electorate. We sit it, and evidence are there. Look at the photos I post in my page. I participate in public participation. Because that is the point the people I represent speak out. And that when the proposals has been approved by NGCDF board, before they give what you call court list, we have looked at, because at my oversight, looking at the reports, that what has been released matches what the public says.
There's a decision.
I go to the site, and I go to the site physically.
There's a decision that requires NGCDF to seize. Was it at the Supreme Court? And it's
by 2026.
Given a timeline of 2026 in June.
Yes. It's unconstitutional.
What do you think of that?
Supreme Court has spoken. They have given a stay order on an appeal that is still existing. I know, I will not say that because appeal is still ongoing. They have just given a session on a stay order which had been requested to run up to 2026.
Do you agree that it's unconstitutional?
The question is still, it is neither here or there. Because looking at the impact of CDF, Liberal and NGCDF, it has brought what we call equity. That is a provision in Article.
He's running away from the question. You asked whether it is unconstitutional or constitutional.
Whether I agree that this
question could you just answer?
I'm giving a legal background why I agree that NGCDF should not be abolished.
No.
We would rather look at
who should implement
an appeal at the Supreme Court.
Of course, it is Ministry of National Treasury which has been implemented.
Where do you have from Supreme Court?
It is State Department of Planning.
All right.
It is State Department of Planning under the PS.
Let me say this, Sami.
It's an agency.
It's not true.
I need to allow me first. I need to get Wakili. I think he's not aware.
No. You cannot educate me on wrong facts. You cannot educate me on wrong facts.
It is a fact that the national plan.
No. You are speaking from different sides.
Look at the law very well.
Okay.
Even when Member of Parliament was still a patron, was playing oversight, that thing has been, the latest amendment has totally removed.
In short, you don't agree with the courts?
Yes, I don't agree.
Okay, all right.
You don't agree with the Supreme Court as an individual?
Both have been dwelling on the 2 or 3 acts of CDF.
It's the turn of Senator Onyonka.
Can you guys allow me?
Senator Onyonka, you're responding on only 2 issues.
Yes. And
about the Senate.
I'm going to be very fast. My brother, I came to the Senate 2 years ago. I used to be a member of Parliament like you. What I am saying, and I want to be very clear here, I am not saying that when you are elected as an MP, your job to go to the constituency and your responsibility has been to steal money and that is what no. Please listen to what I'm saying deeply. We have a system that we have deliberately broken down. CDF is the kitty that the head of state can decide from the committee of the budget, which is supposed to be presumably independent. And yet, any time that this gentleman, and I've said this, Sami, severally, I was one of those MPs who used to push for money to be increased so that then I can bring development to my people. It is true. CDF has done wonderful things, gentlemen. I have no problem at the responsibility of CDF. What I'm saying, we have participated now in breaking it. We have participated in making sure you are raising the issue of county government. My brother, we have never, since we came into the committee I sit, which is called CPAC, go and check and see what your governor has received from us. We have made recommendation to about 29 county governments demanding that the individuals who are stealing public money are arrested and prosecuted. Your EACC, which you people are supposed to have made to work, has not done it. So don't accuse me that because I'm in the Senate, that what we've been doing...
When you say you people...
National Assembly. They are the ones who are supposed to hold EACC to account. Sami, Why are we discussing this issue?
How did the Senate hold the KEMSA to account?
Who? Because under the Health Committee, we are allowed to have the two committees. But we cannot start discussing EACC without you people bringing it from down. That's what we have.
Okay.
Wait, Sammy, I have not finished.
There was a question on counties.
So
yes,
corruption in counties is the responsibility of who?
I'm coming there,
Senator,
Sammy.
finish.
The county government, if there is a Senate that has brought out the rot in the county government, if you see how much money is being stolen, how many times we have pronounced ourselves, when we went to Lodwar, we've been to Mandera, every single time we pronounce ourselves. And my brother, let me tell you.
I'm listening.
Even when you may want to accuse us that we're being bribed, so that every audit report we have received, and we have made a recommendation that people are prosecuted or people are taken to court. Nothing has happened.
Do you have an implementation committee in the Senate?
Do you?
No.
Just leave that alone.
Let him finish.
I don't want to go there. The last point I wanted to make, Sammy, to you is this. Why CDF is basically legal. CDF, which has done incredible work in the country, which in fact has filled the gaps which the national government and the county governments don't, has now been broken in such a manner that after the audit report has been done by the Auditor General, where does the report go? It goes to the National Assembly. How can you be the one who is actually running the outfit? You are the one who makes, I mean, these hypothetical, I'm telling you.
You are an MP. Where was the report going?
I am saying, by the way, I was one of the best MPs in the Republic of Kenya for 10 years. So I use my CDF extremely well. And that is why I've been elected 4 times and I'm on my 5th term. What I'm explaining to these guys is this.
That's enough.
Let us agree that the system is broken. We have broken it in such a manner. Money, it's not emotions. Money is being stolen and we are lying to the public that, oh, you know, if you touch CDF, no, let us collapse all the money. Let these guys go and oversight their CDF when it's at the
tell us the
level.
cost of education first.
All right, that's enough.
I think we need to know the cost of
Sorry.